is Tom Marks from PC Gamer here to give you a first look at Dauntless. Dauntless is a free-to-play co-op kind of Monster Hunter style game where you start in sort of an online hub town where there's a bunch of people online. You can change your equipment, you can change your loadouts, you can meet up with friends, you can meet new people, whatever you want to do. And then you go into these instances where you play with between 1 and 4 people, and you go hunt a specific behemoth. And all these behemoths are essentially just really intricate sort of boss fights. They're these giant monsters. Each one is unique. The developer told me that there's probably going to be in the range of dozens of them when the game actually comes out. Some are easier than others. Some you have to scale up to, get better equipment, that sort of thing. And it's really, really fun. What I got to play was just an early demo of the combat alone, so I didn't get to see any of that RPG-like stuff. But it's clear that they wanted to make the combat more than just sort of hack and slash big thing till it falls over. It's very combo-based, light and heavy attacks, special attacks. You have these potions that either heal you or make you go berserk and do more damage. You have to know the behemoth's moveset pretty well. You also have to know what their tells are, what abilities they're going to use next. They can go berserk too. So there's a lot of skill in just learning these specific things rather than just leveling up stats and getting better equipment. It's all about patterns, it's all about timing, and it's fun. It's a bit tricky at first, but they specifically are going for a skill-based system, and so when you swing the sword, the animation starts, and you can't really interrupt that animation. There's dodging and all that, but you have to be very deliberate about your hits. When I was using the hammer, it was a lot harder because I would take these big swings, and if I just whiffed, then, that was wasted time. With the sword, it was a lot quicker. And there's going to be, every weapon has a different moveset. That's kind of how they're doing classes, is you'll get these different weapon types, and those weapons will have different moves. One of the things that really stood out to me about Dauntless 2 was the audio design. And specifically the audio design of those creatures. They have these shrieks and these sound effects that are just so well made. They evoke like a really good kind of emotional response, like you're actually fighting one of these giant mythical beasts. It's really, really great. And that goes along just to the art and the aesthetics of the game as a whole is like really, really nice. It feels a little bit empty right now, the worlds, but the game is still very early. There's a lot of stuff that's missing from the version I played and the version you're seeing here. There's going to be plants and flora and fauna to collect that will get you crafting materials. There's also going to be these little, smaller creatures to fight while you're going and hunting for the bigger one. Right now, it's just sort of like walk through an empty world and find the big one. But by the time it hits open beta late this year, that stuff is assumedly going to be in there, and I imagine it'll go a long way to making the environments, which were very pretty, feel less empty. But that's the main question that I was kind of left with when playing Dauntless, was that there are still a lot of things we don't really know how they're going to play out. Like what I played in the combat and the idea of going out with 3 friends and hunting these giant monsters to get loot and then going back to town and upgrading them and going back in and finding more monsters. That sounds really fun to me, and the combat was really nice. But things like looting and what the item system looks like and what item crafting looks like and leveling up and what those quests and the storyline looks like, which I'm told there is going to be lore and a storyline going through. And then also just the variation of enemies. How all that works is going to be really, really crucial to Dauntless. We just don't know how all that stuff is going to present itself yet. And the free-to-play aspects is also another really important part of that question. I was told specifically there would be no pay-to-win stuff. You'd be spending real money on things like cosmetics or, probably experience boosts, that sort of thing. Standard fare when it comes to free-to-play games. But the developers told me they're really thinking of this as a game as a service and plan to support it for many years to come. But Dauntless is a really, really cool game. I was excited when I saw the cinematic trailer late last year, and playing it was really exciting. It's a kind of thing where I can definitely see myself wanting to just jump in with a couple of friends and kill a monster on a weekday night. We also have a full gameplay video going up if you just want to watch me fight some monsters and probably be pretty bad at it. And stay tuned at PCGamer.com for more of our coverage on Dauntless.